अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। प्रीवियस वीडियो में हम बात कर रहे थे एक्सोसाइटोसिस के बारे में। द ACH is thus discharged into the cleft by a process of exocytosis and diffuse rapidly across the cleft to reach the nicotinic type of ACH receptors on postsynaptic membrane of the junctional fold. The postsynaptic membrane possesses the large numbers of ACH-gated channels. Once the ACH-gated channels are opened, the postsynaptic membrane becomes more permeable, which flow into muscle cell, and the local potential called end plate potential, which is created. The ACH-gated channels are also permeable. The amount of the ACH released at the motor end plate will depend on the number of the nerve impulse arriving at the nerve terminal. Once the ACH crosses the synaptic cleft and triggers the ionic channels on postsynaptic membrane, it immediately undergoes the hydrolysis due to the presence of the enzyme acetylcholine esterase (ACHE). The enzyme adheres to the fine collagen fibrils of basement membrane in cleft. Some of the ACH diffuses away from cleft. The ACH remain in contact with postsynaptic membrane for about 1 ms, and it is rapidly destroyed to prevent the re-excitation of muscle fiber. After the fall in the concentration of ACH in cleft, the ionic channels close and remain closed until more ACH drives. The skeletal muscle fiber contraction is thus controlled by the frequency that arrives at motor nerve terminal. A resting muscle fiber shows the small occasional depolarization. The end plate potentials at the motor end plate, which are insufficient to cause an AP and make the fiber contract. These are believed to be due to the sporadic release of ACH into the synaptic cleft from a single presynaptic vesicles. The sequence of the events that takes place are motor end plate on stimulation of a motor nerve can be briefly summarized as follows. Nicotinic type of the ACH receptors, ACH gated channels open and end plate potential created. The end plate potentials NA gated channels open and NA influx AP created. Increased release of CA2 muscle fiber contraction, immediate hydrolysis of the ACH by ACHE, and if drugs having a similar chemical structure to ACH were to arrive at receptor site of the motor end plate, they might bring about the same changes as ACH and mimic its action. The two examples of the such drugs are nicotinic and carbamylocholine. If one, on the other hand, drugs having a similar chemical structure to ACH were to arrive at the receptor site of a motor end plate. यहाँ तक कुछ भी पूछना हो आप पूछ सकते हैं। अल्लाह हाफिज़।